Hi, everyone, and welcome to This Podcast is in Beta. I'm your host, Erezebeta, and here today we have Twitch partner and man of memes, BoboChet. So let's just jump into it. All right, so Bobo, welcome to This Podcast is in Beta. You're our first partnered streamer on here.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm honored. That's actually pretty cool.
it is.
Thanks.
I mean, you're also like only the third person.
Well, I mean, that's still I'm still the first partner, so that's
No.
first something. I mean,
It's a pretty
um,
big deal. I mean, I remember I've been doing Twitch for 2 years, and I think you're the first partner streamer I made friends with as well.
really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. So, uh,
Oh,
so, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your stream?
sure. It's kind of hard because my stream is it's changed over the years. Um, but I've been on Twitch for a good while. I think I don't remember the exact month, but I think it's been about 6 years. Maybe even more. It's been a while. Streaming actively, it's been a hot minute. Um, I've been around since Justin.tv, watching, how Twitch was back then or Justin.tv was back then, and then turned into what it is now. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've been through a lot of changes. I went from a no cam streamer to a speed runner to I guess now they call it VTubers. Back then when I was doing it, it wasn't even called VTubers. I was a talking dog for
Wait,
like
hold on. You were a VTuber?
I was a VTuber before VTubing was a thing. Yeah, I was a talking dog. I can show you a
Is this
clip if you want.
in,
It's also in my I have an anime intro for the channel that I play when like new people come in or at the start of the stream. There's a clip, like it's maybe like a 2-second clip that goes by, and it's me as a dog just floating across the screen.
I
So
I didn't
mhm.
know that.
Yeah, so I was technically a VTuber, but it was, back then we called it character streamers. It wasn't VTubing, It was a little different back then. But then I just kind of took what was from the VTubing or character streaming persona, turned it into like what I am today, which is just over the top wacky and crazy effects on stream. And now I just play horror games with a little bit of spice, and that's basically it.
Now, this when did you get partnered? Was it the speed running?
I got partnered. So I used to speed run. I still kind of do on and off. Not as competitively as I used to. I used to speed run Resident Evil, knife only, the classic Resident Evils, not the remaster. Although I have dabbled in them in the past, but um, playing Resident Evil One, I think it was back in 2017. Um, Yeah, back in 2017, I was playing Resident Evil 1, and then, Twitch staff raided my channel, and they said, what was it that they said? They said, Once a meme once a meme in a dream, now a partnered stream," and they were just, like, a whole bunch of Twitch staff in there, and then they, like, ruined my run because I stopped playing, and I was like, "Oh, man, I was on world record pace," and it was fun, but I was back in 2017.
So now, is that typical? Like, do I see all the time the emails from in on Twitter where people
Mhm.
are congratulating everyone over, you made it, you're partnered now. Uh does Twitch staff still do that? Do they still go into the people's streams and, announce like that?
Um, so when I got partnered, they used to rate like that. They also used to give like partner managers as well. Um, Now they don't. It doesn't seem like they've been doing it as much. I've been seeing a lot more streams get partnered, and then there's just an email that gets dropped, or you just midstream you get an achievement that unlocks, and it'll pop up on screens like, oh hey, it says like you're the cream of the crop. Welcome to the Twitch partner program. And yeah, then they're kind of just, oh okay, that's it. But I haven't seen somebody been rated by Twitch staff in a while. They used to do it a lot. Now I don't know.
Well, I was just looking into it, a little while ago. There's, like,
Mhm.
apparently 6 million Twitch streamers now.
Yeah, there's a whole slew of them. I forgot what I used to see that affiliates, um, partnered, and then just regular broadcaster, like their counts on like how many are on the platform. And I think last time I saw it, this was like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. It was like 75,000 partners or something. The number's probably gone up since then, or gone down because I know some partners have been getting banned too. Um, but yeah, I think it's definitely up there, and the percentage of Twitch is growing as a one of the main social media platforms.
Now, were you around when the affiliate were you ever an affiliate, or did you go from broadcaster to partner? Because I know the affiliate
Eh,
program was a newly added thing.
yes, if you want some drama with that, I can tell you. If you don't, I don't I can
Please?
leave it out, but yeah, I was one of the first affiliates.
Oh, wow.
I was in the first wave. I got affiliate, went to TwitchCon, came back from TwitchCon, and then got partnered, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I didn't have it for long, but yeah, I had it for like a month. It was crazy. Maybe like a month and a half.
I mean, that's kind of like I think that's what every affiliate wants is like, "Oh my god, I got affiliate. Okay, boom, your partner. Yes."
Yeah, it threw me off guard because I was like, "Oh, cool, I get 3 emotes, let's go." And then I was like, "Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Why do now I have to get more emotes? Oh, jeez." Then I had to go and commission them, and that was a whole thing. But, there was some drama behind it, for the affiliate program, and I understand that it was still fairly new, but it was rough, uh, getting in there and submitting it.
I heard that, when it first came out, partners were pretty upset about it because they
Mhm,
had to work I mean, essentially the same amount of time an affiliate would have to work, except plus some to go to partner. And so when they
mhm.
saw that some of the benefits that one, affiliates could monetize their channels,
Yeah.
um, and that they were able to get like things like the emotes, that people were pretty upset about it when it first happened.
People are so one thing I noticed, and I think one of the reasons why, like, I've been, like, not as controversial as a like, a partner, because it seems like a lot of partners like to stand on their soapbox and be controversial, and then they end up getting banned or for doing something crazy or getting canceled on Twitter or something. I think that one of the reasons why I'm, like, so not in that direction is because, like, I don't I don't care. As much as, people have an opinion about everything, and the whole affiliate program and, partners, getting upset about it, it made no sense to me. But there was a lot of, like, partners rallying behind the fact that, "Oh, no, there's affiliates getting, emotes and stuff, and I worked hard to get these." I'm like, "Nobody's stripping you from your achievement." Literally, like, if I get to eat, why can't this person get to eat too? Like, it doesn't make any sense. They should be able to have some type of entry level to monetizing their stuff, but people kind of, people kinda took it the wrong way. There's also a few other people who also, like, that were partners that rallied behind affiliates, and they were like, "Yeah, let's give them more stuff and, let's share, I guess, the wealth, so to speak." But I don't know. People are weird on Twitch.
It is a weird energy that goes about. It's this, and Aaron had talked about it a little bit, like the inability when you're growing to not compare yourself to others. It's really hard.
Mhm.
But even in outside of the comparison, it's interesting that Twitch is like ultimately what I how I handle my stream and what I do and who I am, that's why someone's there. And it's the same thing goes for you and everyone else. But for some reason, the idea that you're competing just goes through certain people's minds and it's, I mean, just not accurate.
I don't so people tend to use Twitch and say it's a business and it's a competition and, I'm not a fan of that mentality. when in turn, yes, you are using money. Yes, it's technically considered a small business and you do file taxes for it. But having that mentality, it's not like McDonald's versus Burger King. You know, it's
Yeah.
not that type of business. We're all in content creation and we're all creating different content. Um, I don't understand how people kinda, like, view that mentality of, like, "Oh, it's a competition," and I understand it's easy to compare yourself to other people. That's just human nature. We're always gonna wanna compete and kind of compare ourselves to, like, other people and see where we stand in that realm. I get that, but it's not a competition. You know, my content's different than your content. What people come to watch me for, they're not gonna come and watch you for it. They're you know, what people watch you for, they're not gonna come and watch me for. It's not the matter of like, "Hey, you know, I'm doing beta better than beta, so that's how I'm gonna be able to, like, steal views and be competitive." That doesn't make sense. People kinda get that in their head, and they'll see someone else doing really good, and they're like, "Oh, man, they just started streaming 3 months ago."
Yeah.
You know, and they're doing great, but it's you know, you're not them. They have something about them that, you know, is different from you. They're them and you're you. You're doing your own content and your own journey. They're doing their content and their own journey. You guys both are on different paths, and people are very quick to kinda be like, "Well, his path is shorter and, you know, he's got the easy way," and all this stuff. It's like, or their path is this and that, or it's never like that. You just kinda have to constantly remind yourself because I get caught up in it too. It's human nature, but, um, you just have to remind yourself like, "Hey, why am I doing this in the first place? Like, this is for fun, and, you know, I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy content creation. Because if you get caught up in that, it affects your content, and then you start doing stuff that you're not too happy or proud of."
Yeah, I've seen, when you're talking about opinions, that some people have kind of made their branding or more of like
Mhm.
who they are just on being opinions. On Twitter, on even in their Twitch streams, like they're making it that they're always either standing up or against something. Um,
Yeah,
and that seems utterly exhausting, and
it
it's
is.
divisive. It's a good
Mhm.
way to get people pretty polarized about you.
Yeah, I noticed that, well, I mean, this is also with anything. It's the same reason why people watch reality TV shows 'cause, you know,
Yeah, that's true.
it's not fun because you're like, "Why am I watching this?" But you're sucked in because of the drama. And that's how it is on Twitter or streamer Twitter and on Twitch too. People know that they can capitalize over, you know, drama and, issues that kinda come up and you know, they've been called, clout chasers or all this other stuff, and people kinda get upset behind it, but I mean, it's another form of content similar to, um, like reality TV shows, you
Or
know, it's
YouTube drama channels.
exactly. It's just another form, another medium of content creation. You do see it a lot, and it does cause a lot of problems, and it does get people heated. Um, but I mean, there's a reason behind it. People like drama, and if people like drama, there's gonna be money behind it, and if there's money behind it, you'll get podcasts behind it, you have streams and YouTube videos behind it, and
Yeah.
it's never gonna stop, but
Yeah, as
it's
long
just
as there's
another form
someone
of
to
content.
watch it, and as long as people want to watch that, there it will always
Mhm.
exist. There will always be
Exactly.
those people that sometimes may be very good at harnessing that kind of energy. Um,
Mhm.
Now, I do have to ask you this. What was Justin TV like? Because
That was
I
like
have no idea. I literally
that
the first time I was on Twitch was the day I set up my account to start streaming. I was that
okay.
person. Yeah.
So, Justin.tv was literally like the Wild West of Twitch. Anything went, like, literally anything went. I remember, like, you can watch, like, Family Guy episodes. Like, there's, like, some guy streaming Family Guy just randomly on the channel. You would have, like, you know, DMCA wasn't, like, a crazy thing. People were doing whatever. It was, you know, not just games, it was, like, a whole bunch of stuff. You had, like, one of the first, like, IRL streamers on there. I think his name was Justin too. Yeah, I think it was Justin, and he had, like, a backpack on, and he would, like, go around and he basically stream his life. Um, and that kinda gravitated towards what we know now as, like, IRL streaming or travel. I know they changed it multiple times.
Yeah.
Um, but Justin.tv was the Wild West, like, anything went. It's similar to, like, how YouTube was back then, like, anything went. Um, but I saw a lot of streamers there that were like speedrunners from back in the day that are still on the platform and that are like, still streaming. And it's really cool, getting to like see the people that were on Justin.tv that are still around. Um, but I was there mainly because my brother introduced me to Justin.tv. And we would watch speedruns from like some dude playing Super Mario 64 or Resident Evil, you name it. But we would watch just speedrunners there and people play games, and then Twitch kinda or Justin.tv ended up becoming Twitch and ended up being, like, the center point for, like, video game streaming, and I guess that's where it is now.
Um, so do you feel like that's what inspired you to, like, get involved? Like, what was it that made you decide, "Hey, I wanna try and do this too," and you started broadcasting?
I, uh, I had just got out of college, I was with my brother, and, we were watching a speedrunner, and I was like, "Man, I could do this." That's all I told my brothers, like, "Yeah, I could do this." And we were watching the speedrun Resident Evil 3, and, and I was like, "Yeah, this doesn't look that bad." But I have like one quirk about speedrunners, and I wasn't trying to bash them or anyone in particular, but I was like, I notice speedrunners when they speedrun, they're very just like boring.
Yeah,
Like
they're
they're
just
on
super
cam,
focused.
yeah, but they're on camera, and like, why are you even on camera? You're just sitting there and just like, you're just playing, and then occasionally the commentary is like, oh damn.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
no, I missed that. Oh, no. Like, you're not even reading chat, you're on camera, you're on a mic. I mean, there's no reason to have these extra steps in there if you're not gonna do something with it. Like, I get your speed running, but it's also like, I don't know. That was my opinion on it, and I'm not trying to bash anybody's content for it, but I was like, "Yeah, I could do this." And then I went and I was like, I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna do some things different." And I started speed running with, like, a personality, so to speak. And I was in there and I was just being wacky. I would have weird camera zooms during speed runs,
Wait, hold on, is this
and
different than now?
not really. It's exactly how it was. I was just kinda like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this weird stuff," and, I just kinda went with it, and it became what it is now, and then people were like, "Oh, snap. This is like a cool different way to speed run." And I know, like, some people in the speedrunning community thought that I was, like, a fake speedrunner or, like, a joke, which was, like, kinda mean, and this is
That
why I
that
kinda
is
disassociated
yeah.
myself. What was that?
Yeah, that is mean.
Yeah, it was like, just because 'cause I'm, like, messing around doesn't mean that I'm not a real speedrunner. Like, I practice the game, but, I'm practicing, but I'm also, while playing, and doing all this crazy effects on stream just to kinda add some entertainment because I ran the game, like, over and over, same game, like, a million times. It's gonna get boring eventually,
You
but
know, it's funny about speedrunning, I've considered it, but here's the catch. It would have to be playing solitaire on mobile. Don't look at me like
okay.
that. I know you can't see me, but I can see you, don't look at me like that. And here's why. I can
Mhm.
complete an entire game of solitaire in 15 seconds.
Oh, geez.
But
You should
my
see, if there's, like, a world record leaderboard on that.
I don't yeah, I kinda want I think one time on one of my phones, the closest I think I've actually gotten closer to 10 seconds. And I don't know what happened because I was totally zoned out because I was on the toilet. So I was just, like, really focused on the
Just
game.
hyper
I
focused
was just
while
hyper-focused.
pooping.
Yeah, pretty much. But, like, I'm serious, I've played, like, 10,000 games of solitaire, and, but yeah, I don't know how to capture it, not to mention, I don't know if I can have the same focus being on stream versus, on the throne.
I think you should be able to do it with, like, one of them Android emulators or something, and just get it there and then just click it. But, I mean, You don't know how, like, you're gonna be
Yeah,
with,
I don't know how mu
chat on stream, and
Yeah,
you might be like, "Oh, crap." I mean, but it's also only 10 seconds, so, I mean, you're only gonna ignore chat for, like, 10 seconds. I
that
mean,
is true.
so
Like,
it's not that bad, as opposed
um
to, like, 3 hours or, like,
yeah, I feel like I'd have to practice, maybe order a bunch of, like, spicy food and
spicy f you have
just go
you have to
practice for a
stream
while.
exclusively from the toilet. That's the only way to do the speed run.
Yeah. Probably do a VTuber thing.
You could. I mean, you probably could. They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't
They'd be
know.
like, "Is she on the toilet? I don't
Well,
know."
unless if they watch this podcast, then everyone knows.
Yeah, then you'd be giving it away, but
Yeah, a little bit.
we'll just edit it out
Yeah,
and
I was gonna
post
say
it.
we'll just
Okay, they
cut it out.
wanna yeah,
Yep.
we'll just, like, we'll be like, "Oh, so we're talking about VTube," and then jump immediately into, like, something else, like, also cats.
About cats. Um, so one of the things that here's how I discovered you. I
Okay.
was hanging out in Dylan's channel and he went to raid you. And there was all of a sudden just this like insane raid message that just kept going on. Like it just, I was like, it never ends. It's like a full song almost. And it was so impressive. And, to anyone who has not checked out Bobo's channel, you should. But I thought to myself, I was like, one, this is hilarious. And then, like, I was talking to you in chat and you were very engaging and interactive. And on top of that, it was just like, I was like, oh my God, I want to raid him now because I want my community to see this. And that's honestly probably one of the most ingenious things that you come up with. What gave you the idea to
The
do
raid
that?
message or the
Yeah.
raid song or
Yeah. To
whatever.
do like, to have it that when new people are, because let's be honest, when most people raid, um, you know, if someone's watching me and supporting me and they want to go and support another creator, they will. But like getting someone to actually like become a
Stay is the hardest.
stay and become a part of that community is really, really hard. And you only have about a minute to make an impression on someone. So you
You
took
may even have less. Sometimes people come in a raid and drop the message and click out. Like,
no I mean I've done
yeah,
that.
like I've done it. I'm guilty of that.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it too. Like I'm
Like,
sorry.
I'll come in the raid and I'll post the message once, and then I'm like, "All right, deuces," and then but you're right. You have a very like short amount of time to go and kind of capture somebody's attention because they're like, this isn't Dylan or this isn't Beta. Like, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna leave, and then they're like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, who's this
There's a lot of
BoboChet?
yeah. There's a whole bunch of weird stuff happening. What is this? I'm gonna wait and see if he gets banned or something. Oh, okay. He's not yet, but he's going crazy. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then before you know it, it's like 2 hours into the stream, and he's like, "Wait, I was supposed to leave. Whoops."
Yeah, that keeps happening to me. It's like, I am if I'm hanging out with people in the Discord or something, your stream comes on, one of us goes on there, then I go in there, and then I'm like, all right, I'm leaving, bye bye. And then you see me message 20 minutes later. I'm like,
I think the other day you did that too. You came in, you're like, "All right, I'm leaving. See you later." I was like, "All right, see you later, beta." And then you came back. It was like, "All right, I'm going to bed." I was like, "Wait, did you already leave?"
it's but that's impressive. That
Thanks.
you've accomplished something that like everyone wants to find their version of it. I'm over here on Fiverr looking like, can I get some like cat raid message? And Fiverr's like, what are you asking for? And I'm like, I really
Cat rave made. Like, I need this Fiverr, and then you have that one guy who's like, "Yeah, I got commissions closed, but I specialize in only cat rave messages on on Twitch and YouTube." So I mean,
So,
I don't
funny
know. I don't know.
story. There was one dude on Fiverr that would make like this really funny cat jam to a song from a sorry, like dancing girl gun meme from back in the day. And
Mhm.
with bongos involved. And I was just like, I need this. I paid him $5. The dude never made it. And I was like, ah,
Did you get your money back?
I did. I got my $7 back, which was also a Fiverr credit. They're like, you have $5 now to use on Fiverr. I was like,
And he's like, "Hey, we're gonna give you this money, but only in credit."
yeah,
Haha.
like,
Yeah, that I
thanks.
don't like. I don't like that.
Uh,
That's upsetting.
eh. But that being said, what gave you the idea to do that? That was really smart.
It goes back to speedrunning because I was like, "Yeah, speedrunners are boring. What can I do to make it less boring? Because I'm playing the same game over and over again." And, that kinda gravitated into, like, some weird stuff, and then after that, I was like, "Alright, when I get raided, how can I keep people when they raid me? You gotta do something weird." Um, and, some people are like, they'll talk about the channel. They'll say, "Hey, like, my name is so and so. Here's my streaming times. Here's what I do." And then they're like, "Okay, I'm still gonna click out because this person's boring." And, you kinda have to figure out something like, "What can I do?" Because they obviously are forced to be here, and they don't wanna be here because they obviously came from another stream. Um, and I was just like, "Maybe if I just, like, do some weird stuff that's just gonna freak people out?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then it just gravitated into, like, just all this wackiness. I used to have a lot more, but because of, like, DMCAs and stuff, I kinda, like, brought it down, but I used to have, a lot more, like, a lot more songs and a lot more, raid messages and raid videos, but I brought them down because DMCA and I didn't wanna get banned.
Yeah, DMCA's been difficult this year, to say the
Yeah,
least.
and I mean, I understand it. I mean, you don't want somebody to go and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go and use, something Beta said in a soundbite and use it as my alerts without asking her." Like, it's that's also like if you like kinda reverse the roles, it kinda is like, "Oh, that is kinda scummy that you're taking content that isn't yours and utilizing it for your content." So I get it.
Yeah.
Um, it just comes from like a bigger company that makes a whole bunch of money, and that's where people kind of get like all crazy about like, oh no, like it's a big company. But I mean, it's still in black and white. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and
Um,
then it's not that I
mm,
don't disagree with that, it's just like, could you keep up with the times? Like, there's content creation is a thing, Twitch has been around, YouTube's been around, there's new platforms coming up all the time
mhm.
that I just heard of one Glimish or something that's relatively new in the streaming world, and you had D Live and everything, so, eh, find a way to make a cost-effective license. Also, hi, cat. Sorry if you heard the crash.
It's okay.
Cat just popped out of the box.
No, it's all right.
Um, but yeah, like find a way to make it something that everybody can do, that we can pay $30 a month and have, like a radio license type thing.
Yeah, I think Facebook, Facebook Gaming
Yeah.
has that where like you can actually play like music that is copyrighted. But they have like a license agreement with Facebook that allows them to do that. They were trying to do that with Twitch from what I heard, and they were trying to do that for like a whole year. Music companies were like hitting them up like, "Hey, we want to like work with you guys and like getting a license so that Twitch streamers won't get, DMCA or whatever." And Twitch kind of like never went to the meeting, never like continued communication with them. And, these music companies are like, "Well, I guess you're twisting my arm here." So then that's where all like the DMCA stuff started coming out. So it falls back on Twitch not being proactive towards their creators on the platform. Like you have Facebook Gaming, like out of left field doing something like that. That's crazy. And they're like, "Oh, okay, that's innovative. Why can't Twitch do it? Why can't YouTube do it?" But then they're like, just I'm not gonna work with these music companies. We're just gonna leave these creators, just offend for themselves, which is rough. But
And I actually don't know if it's still true, but I know for a while when Facebook Gaming started, they were giving partnered streamers, I think, like a salary.
I don't know, to be honest. I know that they were making contracts to buy people out from Twitch partnership and giving them like, "Hey, Facebook partner, you come over here, here you go. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you a contract to exclusively stream here for a whole year." And I think they did. Mixer did it with Ninja. And, Facebook did it with another person. I'm trying to remember who. I think it was a League of Legends streamer. Um, but yeah, that was happening for a good while. I don't know if it's happening nowadays, but I know those contracts were going out.
Um, so I know that you've had uh not I wouldn't even call it drama, but I know you've had some situations that were a little sticky on
Yeah.
Twitch. You wanna talk about that a little bit?
I mean, which ones? There's a couple of them. We can talk about swatting and the doxing. We can talk about, like, I've had stalkers on the platform.
Oh god.
Um, I mean, what can of worms you want to open up?
I didn't even know about the stalkers, but I guess let's start with the doxing and swatting because I think that's a big fear that a lot of people have, and maybe talk about the prevention aspect of that.
So, this happened back in, ooh, trying to remember. I wasn't a partner then. I wasn't affiliate. I don't think that was even out at the time. Um, I was on Discord, and I had a Discord community. It wasn't that big at the time. Um, but it was around Christmas time. Someone had, like, found my information. I had my Facebook and I had my Instagram, and I guess they found me on there somehow, and it had my address, where I went to school, family members, all that stuff. And yeah, that kind of like threw me for a loop. They ended up posting my address in Discord. They also found my phone number because I had a website, and the website that I had, they went to like who's admin and put my website in the who's admin search, and it tells you who's hosting it, and then it has the person's address, full name, and um their telephone number and their email address, and they just like it basically just tells you all the information. Um So they got that stuff from there, and they posted it in Discord, and then they ended up saying that they were gonna call the cops to go over there or whatever. I forgot what the phrasing was, but I was at my grandma's house for Christmas, and I was like, "Oh no, they're gonna kick down my door, my cats are gonna run away, or they're gonna shoot my cats thinking that, it's a person because the lights are out, and my cats are gonna get scared and just jump out." Um so we ended up going home and then talking to the police, and then I showed them my streaming setup, which was in a closet at the time. Now I got a whole room dedicated to it, but it was in a closet, and I showed them, like, a little green screen, and then the little lamp that I had in my single monitor and my little desk, and I was like, I stream here, and this guy online kind of doxed me and swatted me and all this stuff, and that's where they kinda were like, "Alright, if it happens again, we'll kinda give you a call," and I was, having information from the police department, letting them know, like, "Hey, if somebody calls regarding this, just call me or just send someone over and I'll let you in. You don't have to send a SWAT team over. I promise nothing crazy's happened." Um, but we ended up finding out it was a kid from Colombia. Like, it was weird. It was a kid from Colombia who had called, that stuff in because it was like an country number.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can do that from like somewhere else in the world
I'm
is
like, how do you
scary.
even yeah, how do you even I want to know. But
I
but
don't
the
know it. Mhm.
because I'm always like, if I'm like injured, somewhere in another country and a family member knows, like, how do you contact the police in that area? Like, that's insane.
I mean, you can look up the police department's number. It doesn't have to be like the 911 line. You can just look up the police department's number, just give them a call from that area and be like, "Hey, something's happening over here." And then they're like, "Oh, okay." And then, they're just gonna dispatch out. Um,
But no
but
one but it no one got hurt. No kitties
mm,
were scarred.
nobody got hurt. I guess my grandma's feelings because we left the Christmas
Aww.
party, like, early, and I was like, "Oh, no,
Aw.
grandma." So I felt really bad doing that, but we also didn't tell her what was happening. We kinda just, like, did it on, like, hush hush, and then my uncle was like, I'll drive you home. Don't worry about it. We're not gonna tell grandma." And then we left,
Aw.
and, um, yeah, that was basically it. We just kinda talked to the police, and I think I think what they didn't know which was, but they said, "Yo, that happened to Kanye." And I was like,
It
"What?"
happened to
It's like,
Bobo, you like Kanye now.
I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess so." At the time, he was like, "Yeah, that happened to Kanye. Oh, snap." And they thought that I was, like, doing, like rap music in my closet, and I was like, "No, I just play games. I'm
Just
not
speed
doing
running
anything
as a
crazy."
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, just streaming as a dog on stream, you know?
Um,
But it was rough.
Now what about the now I kinda wanna know, what happened with the stalker?
So I had a viewer, they became a mod, they became unmodded, they became banned.
They became banned.
Yeah, they started out as like a, kind of a very, friendly, active member of the community, welcoming everybody in, doing all this nice stuff. And then they were cool, and I was like, I want someone like this as a mod. I want this guy in the inner circle helping out with like the community. Um, I don't know what happened after that. It kind of went downhill, and they ended up like wanting more of my time. They ended up wanting to know more information about me, and then when I wouldn't give them more information, they ended up looking up information about me and finding out, and then started calling me by my real name, which I hadn't disclosed at the time on Twitch. And I'm like, I never told you that. You gotta calm down. Started calling me like nicknames that only my mom would call me. Um, and they were asking me, "Oh, how's your pets?" And like naming by my pets' names. I was like, I've also never disclosed that either. This is kind of creepy.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so it was getting to that point where I was like, "Hey, man, you gotta calm down. You're a little too much." Um, and they were like, "Oh, I understand, sorry." And then they said that they blame it on their anxiety and they just wanted to get to know me and make friends. And I was like, "All right, that's fine." I understood at the time. And I was like, "Okay, I guess that's fair." But you probably, were like, "Ah, I don't know how to make friends with this person. I want to get to know him better." And, they just went through an extreme. And after talking to them, I was like, "All right, well, we'll be cool." We weren't cool. Um, it kept going. I guess they assume that me saying, "Oh, it's all right, as long as, I understand where it's coming from, just don't do it again." They took that as I'm gonna
Consent to
keep doing
continue?
this. Yeah. So they just kept getting more of my information. They found out where I lived. They found out my mom's name. Um, they just kept getting more and more information where I worked, and I was like, "All right, you're gone. I can't be here anymore." Wait, I gotta sneeze. Oh no, never mind. I stopped. I'm sorry. Um,
It's okay. I had to grab Risky, my cat, because
uh,
he turned off the computer the other day right before the podcast started with Josh. And so I'm like, I'm gonna hold you. And he keeps suckling on my shirt, and I'm just watching to make sure the audio doesn't get picked up by this
No, you're good. I was
weird
I
ass
was
cat.
I was ready to mute myself if I was gonna sneeze. But we're good. Uh, Sorry to cut you cut off the story
No, no,
midway
no.
through, but
Bless you.
oh, thank you. Um, I ended up just going on like Twitter and like Facebook and just clearing everything. So my personal Twitter account got deleted. My personal Facebook got deleted. I don't even have a Facebook anymore. Everything that like you can find my information on the internet has been deleted. You can't find nothing on me. I have an Instagram account. That's still like under the BoboChet brand. Same thing with my Twitter account.
Yeah.
So like, people will go in there and then be like, "Ah, I found his secret." Because I don't promote my Instagram account at all because I don't use it for anything.
Yeah, I think I
Um, th-
creeper found you. I was like, I bet Bobo has it. Well, I use Instagram because of the cosplays and so forth. It's all under my branding
mhm.
as well. But I was like, oh, let me see if I can find Bobo on Instagram, and I found you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, but that's under my like Twitch
Yeah.
persona name or my handle. It's not like my real Instagram. I deleted that. And sometimes people will find my Instagram and be like, "Oh, I found your Instagram. Oh, I see what you're doing. You live in New York." I was like, I haven't posted up pictures since I lived in New York. Like there's not really much going on there. So um yeah, so I've had people in the past try to like be a creep and be like, "Oh, I see your name is Joe." I was like, Okay, that's a nickname. That's also on my Instagram. You're not gonna get anything. Like I after dealing with the swatting, the doxing, and the stalking, I was like, all right, I got to clean house. I can't have no other social media if I'm doing Twitch streaming, and that's currently how I am at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't I didn't hate getting rid of personal accounts. It's just like, most personal accounts I found were like filled with friends from like high school when we weren't friends.
Mm,
Like, I don't care about your two kids. I'm good. Ready to be done with this.
yeah. I had friends from college on my Facebook account, but I don't talk to people. I'm a hermit, so it's like
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the thing. One of the things I think most streamers are, we're like, we thrive a little bit in like a pandemic. Like, oh, we can't leave. Okay, cool.
it's like, all right, I'm down. I've been already ordering food to get delivered here anyways,
Yeah, everyone's
like
like, takeout Tuesday support. I'm like, I'm cool. Like, I've been
the
ordering groceries. I don't leave the house.
yeah, takeout every day is what I do. Like,
Yeah,
what?
like,
I've been supporting them since I don't know, forever since I found out delivery existed. Get out of here.
get out of here. Um,
Yeah.
Now what's interesting is you're you put in full-time streamer hours. You're partnered, but you've decided to maintain an outside career. Why is that? Why didn't you ever decide to just stream full-time and make that your source of income?
Oh, well, that was it was at one point. I was a full time streamer at one point. Um, and it's not it's not what people make it seem to be. So when you're a full time streamer, now it's a job. Now you have to think of you take less risks when you're a full time streamer. You keep doing the same thing you're already doing because you're like, all right, if I change it up, it may not work. And if it doesn't work, I lose money. And that determines whether I can pay my bills this month. Um, so that meant that I was stuck playing Resident Evil and doing speed runs. I also speed ran Final Fantasy VII, so I was juggling those. Um, and it was just over and over and over again, rinse and repeat. And I had a good amount of people, like I would say like 100 people on average, give or take, um, just watching me. And then I was having like I think 800 subs. Like it was fine. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
was paying
nice.
my stuff. Yeah, but I mean I wasn't having fun. I was burnt out of speedrunning. And then when I decided to be like, I don't want to do speedrunning anymore. I kind of want to go and play like horror games or do something else. The viewers dropped, and then also the subs dropped, and then everything else drops. Um, but I was having more fun. And, that's where kind of I'm leaning towards nowadays, where I cut myself back to like 3 hours for 3 days a week. I work full time. And when I was doing the full time schedule, I was also working, but I was working part time. Um, it's just a lot of people want to do full time streaming. I get it. I did it for like a year, and it's not something that you kind of want to do.
Yeah.
It's rough because you also got to pay taxes at the end of the year on your stuff. So if you have like a short month or two or whatever, and like all your money ends up going to paying bills or whatever, you have to still remember you got to pay taxes on everything you made at the end of the year. Which is why I ended up getting a part time job to help me out with that, because it's like, all right, I'm going to use this money to help pay off taxes for it, and then use the Twitch stuff to help pay off my bills, and that was like the kind of the setup. Um, but yeah, it's not something that I would recommend people to do. I think it's good to kind of still have Twitch at a nice healthy medium, not full time, unless that's something you want to do, but having it, a nice healthy medium where you can still branch out and do what you want um without the fear of like losing money. It's such a more like liberating feeling. But I did it for a little bit, and yeah, I don't think I'll do it again.
Yeah, I, right now for me, Twitch is my main source of income, but my goal is to not have it be my main source of income. I
Mhm,
it's I don't think people really realize that getting to partner is only a part of it. Now you have to
mhm.
maintain that. now you have to you're still if you're deciding to do Twitch, you're still at the will of the people's generosity. And
Yeah.
sometimes things like 2020 can happen, and some streamers probably saw a decrease in revenue because everyone was financially strapped. Others may have seen an increase in revenue because some people were able to work from home and all of a sudden weren't having to pay to commute and we're
Yeah.
getting extra assistance. Like it's that is so stressful. And unless if you're that, because I think if you have a viewership of at least 15, you're in the top 1% of Twitch streamers.
Mhm.
And so to make that kind of you don't have to think about it money, you can pay someone else to think about it, you'd have to be in like the 0.000% of
Yeah, you have to have like, what was it? You remember, you know Ninja, right? The Fortnite guy with the blue bandana in the hair?
yeah, the Fortnite guy.
Yeah, the Fortnite guy.
That guy.
So he does very well with Fortnite and all that stuff, and he gets a lot of viewers. There was a time on Twitch, he went from, like, 48,000 viewers, right,
Mhm.
to, like, 1,000 viewers or, like, maybe, like, 1,000 or 3,000 viewers, switching over to Final Fantasy 11 online to play that, and that is a huge drop for him, but
For
it's
the
still
wee
a
bit.
lot, like, even bigger streamers go through that same
Yeah.
that same problem where, you're known for one thing, you switch to something you wanna have fun in, but you're gonna drop. But then again, he's also like he can afford to do that because he has, like, a crap ton of revenue already coming in.
Yeah, he has generational wealth at this point.
Yeah, so you're basically he's set. But for other people, like, even like, it's typically people who sit within, like, the 100, 200, or 300 viewer range.
Yeah.
When they try to do something else, and you'll see it with a lot of partners, like immediately after they get partnered, they'll go and start saying, I'm going to play what I want now that I'm partnered. And then their
Yeah.
viewership just tanks. That is the main reason why. Um, so even just because you get partnered, it doesn't mean that you're going to retain the viewership. Obviously, now you're like a little bit more laxed, and you're like, you know what, I want to go and branch out. I don't want to just do the same thing that got me partnered, and that's why a lot of like partners kind of like lose their their viewership, and it's not a bad thing. I think, Dylan, I met him as Goop Operatives. He was
Yeah.
playing Warframe. He,
That's how I met
he had a
him
lot of
was
people.
Warframe.
Yeah, that's how I met him too. I think I met him actually, we were both raising money for the same charity, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and I think I ended up raiding into him, and then that's how we met each other. He was playing Warframe at the time. Um, but he had a lot of people on Warframe, and he got partnered on Warframe, and he became a Warframe partner and the whole shebang. And then he was like, "I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah, I remember that.
His viewership did take a hit, and that's natural. It's nothing bad. It doesn't say like, it doesn't throw out the window what the partner has, accomplished in his or her lifetime. But it's just a matter of like, when you do something different that you're not known for, you're essentially starting over. And you just have to do that whole grind all over again. And, it just takes time, but
And
you're
and
not up
and
there
and it's
yet.
not even just partners. I think everyone like that's one thing I would is kind of have to warn anyone that gets involved in streaming. When I first started, my first stream, I was streaming House Flipper to 5 people, and I
Mhm.
was like, Twitch is great. There's 2 people talking to me and 5 people watching. Um, 3 days later, I discovered Warframe, and 3 days into streams, I had 10 viewers. 2 weeks into stream, I had 20. Within a month, I had like an average of 30 viewers. This was like awesome, amazing. I was streaming 6 days a week, all Warframe. The sad reality was I hated the game.
Dang, I love Warframe.
I it got ruined for me because I also didn't have the experience I have now, which was I had people playing with me and coming into my Discord with me and like waiting for people to fashion frame so that, they everything matched when we went into the next battle that would take like 2 minutes to do. And like and then they'd run ahead of me bullet jumping and like I'm over here playing Titania because my like arthritis is gonna die if I bullet jump one more time.
I
Um,
hear you.
so at the same time, I was playing DBD in the evenings by myself, and I decided for a while, all right, I'm gonna split it. I'm gonna do a stream in the first half of the day of Warframe, and then in the evenings, I'm gonna do DBD. And eventually, I just decided to do DBD because that was the game I loved, and I went from 30 to like 5 people watching. And
Yeah.
because that was such a much more saturated game, it's taken 2 years to get still not at what I was at with Warframe, but, like, and now I'm also kinda stuck with DBD because now whenever I switch to something else, I see a little I see a small tank in my numbers, and I'm like, "Ugh."
Yeah. It's it's a very discouraging thing, and then people automatically assume like, "Oh, it's the content that I'm doing," or it's, "Is it me? Is it," people have to understand there's also a community behind the game you play, so people come for you, and then they also come for the game.
And the community.
Um, yeah, and the community. Like, I understand, like, people like me in, like, the Resident Evil community, and they'll come and watch me, like, speedrun Resident Evil. Some people still watch me play horror games from the Resident Evil community. Other people are like, "I like you, but I like watching Resident Evil games, so I'll come in only when you play Resident Evil."
Yeah.
Makes sense, it's understandable. So when you kinda do that, you are essentially starting over again.
Yeah.
Like, you're basically hitting new game, and now you're basically fresh from the jump, and we kinda get this mentality like, "Oh, no, I'm not where I was before," and, you beat yourself up about it, but it's like, if we can flip that mentality and I'm not saying it, like, about you because 'cause I'm also in that same boat, but like everybody else, like, kinda flip the mentality, "Alright, I'm starting over. Let me do the same stuff that I did,"
That got me
you
successful
know
the first time.
exactly, with this other game, but now with this new game, and then we'll just start over and build a community based off this one. And then whenever I'm done with this one, we'll start over again and keep going forward. And you'll get like a little bit of stragglers from both those communities there, intermingled. And then eventually you'll just have regulars just watching you
Yeah.
for you, you
Yeah,
know?
that's really good advice. And
It
speaking of
it's
advice,
hard.
though,
Mhm.
speaking of advice, all right, so as a, Twitch alumni, you know,
Alumni
Justin Justin
graduated.
Justin TV relic, um,
Right.
second time I've called you that today.
Yeah. It's like, man, you're making me feel old. I'm a
I know,
relic, I'm
which is
ancient.
hilarious because 'cause I'm one of the few people that knows your age. Um,
Yeah, and I know Zombear's age too.
oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
What
he
did
had
you
a birthday recently.
Oh, yeah, he did. He turned how old again?
43.
43. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna make sure that he this is good. He'll have to watch the whole thing just to get to this one part about him.
Yeah, just don't even timestamp it for him. Just say, "Yeah, we talk about you for a little bit,
We do. We
in
talk
during the
about we
podcast."
yeah.
Like, "Oh, for real? Let me check it out." And then, 2 hours in, like, "Oh, where is it? When is he gonna say something?" And then we
Uh,
just stop talking about Zombie right there.
yep. Now we're done. So what advice would you give to you know what? I'm not even gonna say to new streamers because honestly, I think with there's so many great videos out on YouTube, and the reality is that starting as a new streamer today versus even 2 years ago when I started, it's different. The platform is different. It changes
Mhm.
so much each year. But I guess, what would you say to people that have been doing this for a while and are still kind of trying to grow their communities? Like they've got those people that are showing up for them every day, but they're still not getting to that partner number. What would you suggest for them?
So if they're not getting to that partner number and you want me to give advice to, like, how to increase, like, that number to gain viewership or just, like, to get you through that journey when you're getting discouraged?
I would say getting through the journey when you're discouraged.
Okay. Um, yeah, because I was gonna say for numbers, you can do everything right and still fall short, you
Oh,
know?
yeah, there's amazing my favorite Twitch streamers, you're one of them.
Oh,
I
thank you.
yeah, you're one of them. Claire Pix is another one, EBX Aaron is another one, Zom's another one. Like, I have a whole group of incredible streamers, and I still don't think that the numbers that they have, even if they're, like, 10 times the amount I have, I still don't think the numbers they have really represent how good of content they're creating.
Yeah, you can do everything right and, still fall short. And then that's just Twitch, and that's anything in life too. You can watch all these videos, you can have someone like mentor you, you can, have the latest and newest content no one's ever seen before, but still fall short because, you know, it's just that's just the way Twitch is. Twitch has a bit of luck to it, especially with discoverability. You can do so much.
Yeah.
You can promote on Reddit, you can make these video montages on YouTube, whatever. It's a matter of luck. You'll go viral on on like Twitter or Reddit or something, and that might help you. But that's all luck. Um,
Yeah, and actually, just to add to that, I've told a couple people this story. There's a DBD streamer, Trickster Shadow, who I
mhm,
met around the time I started streaming DBD, and, he had, like, an average of, like, 20 to 30 viewers.
mhm.
He had been on the platform for, like, a long time. I wanna go at least 5 years, and
Okay.
his content was really, really good. He was a rank 1 killer. He wasn't toxic, he wasn't salty, he did, like he would make it that there was ones where, you could redeem for a certain amount of points where he just completely ignores chat and tells you everything he is doing and why he's doing it as killer.
Okay.
And they
I
were
like that.
it was really good content, amazing content. He's a partner now, but he didn't get partnered until he got rated by, Vince Vega with, like, 2,000 viewers, who was also, a big DBD streamer, so, of course, it was, DBD people that were actually coming to him,
Yeah.
um, which was, 1, amazing to see and also terrifying that it took so long for someone to get partnered who was making the same high quality content for most of the time, and it took that kinda luck to be able to push to partner.
You also it depends on the community too, you know? I've noticed the Dead by Daylight community, 'cause I was a part of the Dead by Daylight community for a good while. I ended up stopped, associating myself with them. I even went to, like, the Dead by Daylight party, um, back in 2017 with, like, a whole bunch of people, and we went to a bar and all that craziness, and, like, I knew a lot of them. I met Vincent Vega once in, like, a group of friends at that same party, so I know who you're talking about. Um, but it's a matter of, like back then, Dead by Daylight community was very, like, supportive of each other. I don't know if it still is now because I haven't really been around them too much, but
Yeah,
they were kinda like now I feel like from the outsider looking in, it kinda seems more like the people who are at the top are now just the people at the top supporting the people at the top.
yeah.
Um, but back then, it was like everyone was helping each other come up, and having a community like that, Dead by Daylight had a lot of growth, had a lot of, like, partners come in and out of there. Um, so that goes back into the whole thing again, like, every community has a specific amount of, like, time that, their growth is gonna go a certain direction, and then there's a certain amount of luck. Some are more luckier than others based off the community that they're in, based off the people that are there, how active the community is. Um, so you shouldn't necessarily be discouraged going in. I know it's very easy to, you'll get caught up in your head about it and reflecting on previous numbers. Um, or seeing that, hey, I'm very close to, path to partner, I'm almost there, but I'm just falling short by a few numbers, and it's hard. um but you have to keep reminding yourself why you came into streaming in the first place. um and a lot of people don't go into streaming immediately say, I want to get partnered. That's not the reason why
I
people came
want
into
to
streaming.
make this very complicated career because yeah, it's the being saying you want to be like a Twitch partner today or a YouTuber today is the equivalent of previously saying I'm gonna be a movie star.
Yeah.
It is the new version of that, where in truth that is going from audition to audition to audition to audition and working as a waitress and doing 2 other side jobs and whatever you can because it's that hard. It's the same
Mhm.
thing.
You have to, like, going into those things, because of it's like the journey is hard, you have to have a passion for it, you have to have a love for it. um some people kind of come in with the idea like, oh, hey, I'm going to go in and I want to make money off doing this. And, that's a valid thing too. If you want to make money doing this, cool. I mean, that's on you. If you want to do this because you want to use it as a hobby, cool. That's on you too. Like you can do whatever you want, whatever your mindset is on going in the beginning. Try to remember and keep in mind. Sorry, my phone went off. Keep in
Was it the
mind that
chips?
was it the chips? No, no. My phone. I was getting a text message from somebody. I think it's probably work. Don't worry. They're crazy. Um, so the whole thing with I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have
That's
talked about
okay.
the chips.
No, you're fine. It was more the text that kind of threw me off. But it's a matter of just remembering what you kind of went in with.
Yeah.
If you're saying, "Hey, I went in there because I want to make money," okay. Twitch partnership would get you a little bit more money, but you have affiliate right now. What can you do to get more money then? Or
Yeah.
hey, I wanted to come in here to be, a VTuber and have fun doing it. All right, cool, do that, and remind yourself that that's why you went in there with like you wanted to have fun with a community or make friends or whatever,
Yeah.
and it'll kind of help because eventually you'll get partner. If you're right there, you're gonna get it. I know we get impatient, but it's gonna happen. It takes time. I got denied 11 times. Some people more than that. Some people less than that. It's your journey, you'll reach it eventually. It's just you kind of have to just remind yourself why you're doing it in the first place.
Yeah. So one of the ways, the only way I like to end the podcast with is ask you a question. And that question is, if you could have any streamer on Twitch, this is like your dream raid that would come into your channel and bring their community, what streamer would you?
Like if I can raid them or they can raid me.
No, if they raid you. But they go,
Uh
BoboChet, I've heard of you. I am here. I have brought my community. Bring me the memes. Like that.
I can have one streamer to do that.
Yeah.
Huh.
If it's a tie, you can also do that.
No, it's just I guess I don't
I'm so surprised that everyone goes, "Oh, I didn't think about that." I'm like, "How?"
I don't know. Like for me, it's like I don't
I'm surprised you're not saying T-Pain.
T-Pain. No.
See, that
I
response right there. That's
no,
like,
I don't know. Cause it's like there's a lot of streamers I like,
yeah.
but it's not a matter of like if they'll come and like raid me, if I'm like gonna go nuts and be like, oh crap, this is what I wanted, like this is my dream. I don't know. I feel like what I want like for a raid can't physically happen, but it'd be really cool if it did.
Okay, what is it?
Um if like me from the future was
My God.
able to like raid my channel. I know that's weird. It's like, who's your favorite streamer that you want to raid? And then I'd basically said myself. Like but I mean, I gotta like my content too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I respect
you know,
that. But what if
that's-
future you goes, "Dude, we retired that raid message like 5 years ago."
I'm so what, man? I mean, that's me. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not even mad about it.
I'm
There's a
not even
reason.
mad about it. I'm not gonna get mad at myself.
Yeah,
Uh,
like he did it too. Like, whatever.
it
I think it'd just be cool because then it's like you get rated by yourself from the future. You know, and it works both ways where it's like they get to see where you were and kind of like remember where you were at that time streaming and kind of like reflect. And then if you're getting rated from someone in the future, you're kind of sitting there like, man, or yourself in the future, you're like, man, like this is crazy. This is basically who I become and this is where I'm going. So I know like the direction I'm going is a right one, or maybe the direction I'm going is a wrong one. Maybe that's not where I wanted to be in the future. Um, and I don't know, it's just something that I feel like would be really beneficial on both sides, but it's just a matter of something that can happen, but
That was so much deeper than I expected it to be. I was 100% gonna go with, all right, T-Pain or maybe J Muse.
no. 'Cause I mean, it's weird because the question is also like another way of saying like, who's your favorite streamer that you look up to right now
Well,
that you want to
no,
be
no.
recognized
Okay.
by? And I
He
said myself,
which again,
like this
I really do
cocky
respect
man.
this.
Gee, this man emitting so much confidence. He's like, who's your favorite? Me. Who do you idolize? Myself. Who else? I'm
One
not
person you'd like to meet, future me.
future me. I want to see how successful I become or how unsuccessful I am. I don't know. I don't. It's
Oh, that'd be really sad. You get, like, a
I,
raid of, like, 5 people for
it's like,
future me.
hey, let's go. I
God.
mean, I swear, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to say it in the most like humble way possible. I'm
No,
just,
it was
I
really
wouldn't.
deep. It was deep and then also very hilarious.
Oh, I'm glad. It's just I don't
That
want
sums
people to
up your
think that
channel.
I'm being cocky or something or trying to be like,
Well, Erin kinda did the same thing. She was like she was like, "I wanna get rated by the Jenna Julian channel, but now it's just Julian." So she's like, "I wanna go back in
oh.
time and get rated by Jenna Marbles." I was like, "You know
Mm,
what? That's fair."
Actually, you know what? I want to change my answer. I want to get rated by Zombie. That's the second time we're bringing him up. I want to get rated by Zombie.
He rates you, like, all the time.
When? I don't know. When
Oh,
was the
you
last
know what?
time?
You know what? That's a good point.
We have different schedules. I don't know. I don't know what
Oof.
you're talking about.
Yeah, that's awkward. Imagine.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's what. That's it. I'm putting it out there. All right, Beta, make it happen.
Alright, thank you
Give
s
him a call. Go. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, no, again, I'm gonna tell him we talk about it in the
No, I'm just
podcast.
kidding. Although I mean, I wouldn't go opposed to getting raided by Zombie. I was just joking though. I'm not trying to force him to be like, oh well, now I got to raid Bobo. Like, I was just joking.
Well, thank you so much for doing this, and,
No problem. Thanks for
and
asking me.
and I'll make sure that, linked below that we have all your info so that people can also check out the the wonderful insanity that is your stream.
Well, thank you.
But,
And this is more of a like, yo, come to the podcast, and then it's like, I'm gonna compliment Bobo the entire time. Like,
subtly, I mean, I also called you a relic.
yeah, dang. Like you're building up all these compliments. I want to be like, yeah, also Bobo, you old as hell.
Yeah, I wasn't intentionally gaslighting.
Dang.
Alright, take care, Bobo.
Hey, you too, Beta.
Alright, bye.
Bye.